The Indigo Arrivals. One of the clearest manifestations of the onset of a new reality is the phenomenon known as the Indigo Children, described in detail in the book of the same name by Lee Carroll and Jan Tober. The term was coined by the clairvoyant Nancy Ann Tapp, who researched the connections between a person's personality and the color of their aura. At the beginning of the 1970s, Nancy Tapp discovered an unusual phenomenon. Children of a new kind were entering the world with a previously unseen color in their aura, indigo. Indigo children have distinct personalities and often stand out from others. They are sometimes diagnosed with hyperactivity or attention deficit disorders as they struggle to sit unless deeply interested in an activity. However, not all children with these diagnoses are indigo, and not all indigos share these traits. Every child is unique. Now, what sets indigo children apart is their strong sense of self-worth and dignity. They instinctively feel that they belong in this life and do not doubt their value. These children often surprise adults with their wisdom and awareness beyond their years. Indigo children resist conformity and have little tolerance for authority. They are independent thinkers, questioning norms and advocating for change where others accept the status quo. They're not naturally accommodating and can be challenging to raise, as traditional discipline methods often don't work. Their intelligence and unique traits make them stand out even among their generation. For thousands of years, generational changes were gradual and steady. Recently, this process has accelerated, with each new generation becoming significantly different from the last. The first indigo children now have their own children who have already surpassed their parents in development and unique traits. So, what is happening here? The process of the revolutionary renewal of human consciousness does not occur without a cause. What's happening is a revolutionary shift in human consciousness driven by the natural tendency of balance in nature and society. This shift is a counterbalance to another process: the rapid expansion of information, telecommunication systems, and a powerful global network of pendulums that have spread across the planet in recent decades. Scientific and technological progress is not as scary as its informational component, which creates fertile soil for the birth and existence of pendulums. The larger the group of adherents who think in the same way, the more powerful the pendulum and the power it can exert. To gain control over a large number of people, you do not have to place them in containers with suction caps attached to their bodies like in the film The Matrix. It is enough to create an all-encompassing information network, because then people will automatically take their place in its cells. So, what does a person in an information cell look like? The structure shapes each person's thoughts and actions, making them believe that they're acting freely. In reality, true freedom is absent because the structure dictates the script. Each individual plays a role assigned to them in a pre-imposed narrative. It would appear that everyone is free to do what they want. We are declared to have this freedom. The only thing is that we can only want the things that coincide with the interests of the structure. The structure teaches us to want what it needs us to want. The process of controlling individual will unfolds naturally, like ice crystals forming as water freezes. Pendulums lack conscious intention, and so their network grows and self-organizes, resembling a parasitic plant colony spreading across the earth. This idea may seem unsettling, amusing, or even like science fiction. However, reality often takes on forms that surpass even the most imaginative works of fiction in their stark realism. Okay, back to the kids. The tendency to enslave the will has generated a response in the form of a type of child that strives for independence. On one hand, the pendulums try to organize the world by driving people into structures similar to the Matrix. On the other hand, the indigos even out the pendulum's domination, as if thereby fulfilling a predetermined mission. The children's behavior is aimed at challenging established systems. Whenever they find themselves squeezed in to fit the boundaries of conditioned stereotypes, they strive to break free. The indigos striving for independence is very evident in their attitude to religion. The new type of child may find it difficult to accept the contemporary church, write Lee Carroll and Jan Tober. Indigo children come into the world with a heightened sense of dignity and unshakable faith that they are children of God. Now, if this is the case, do they really need mediators to communicate with God? Hardly. Indigo children are governed mainly by the voice of the heart than the mind. Adults think that they are doing well when they behave correctly. Children are of the opinion that the most important thing is to do everything with soul, with love, and not necessarily in the way that is considered correct. What if in some past life your current children were your parents and now you have changed place? What if now these old souls have come to continue to teach you, giving many wise lessons? The wisdom of indigo children comes from their heightened awareness. They keenly observe what is happening around them and understand people intuitively. This awareness arises when attention is focused inward rather than outward. Most people get lost in external concerns, slipping into subconscious routines, but indigo awareness resists this sedated mind shaped by pendulum networks. All children are born with unique individuality and natural charm. Their beauty lies in the unity of heart and mind. They accept themselves as they are, untainted by the false masks imposed by the mind. Why is it then that as these wonderful creatures mature, they show certain unpleasant traits and weak sides to their character? For these are the children of God and so beautiful and powerful like God Himself, despite the vulnerability of their early years. Initially, they're imbued with the power of the Creator, capable of creating a new reality. But the talents and abilities of the children of God do not have time to blossom and find practical realization before the pendulums deprive them of their divine power, unity of heart and mind. Children come into the world and look around them with large, trusting, shining, bead-like eyes. Life seems instantly full of promise and hope, but the world is ruled by pendulums according to the principle of divide and rule. Pendulums unify people's motivations and desires, at the same time destroying their uniqueness and the integrity of their individuality. The separation and alienation of the heart from the mind leads to the loss of divine beauty and strength. With time, small and big hopes are squashed. For some, this process takes place slowly and painlessly. In others who are less likely, it happens quickly and harshly. If you look in the eyes of children at orphanages, you see two seemingly incompatible things: hope and despair. It is as if an unfinished question has gone cold in their eyes. Is this really how it is? The world of pendulums constantly shows children their flaws and weaknesses. This creates doubt, which soon turns into deep-seated fear. Over time, this fear becomes a habit. With no escape from this harsh environment, children learn to survive within it. Under the strong influence of the structure, they are compelled to become a part of it. As children grow, they become afraid of standing out, fearing rejection or hostility from those who conform. It feels safer to blend in with the crowd. Over time, they lose their natural gifts of independence, awareness, intuition, and individuality. These traits common among indigo children threaten the structure's dominance, so the battle to control human will persists. Who will prevail is uncertain. What matters most is that, while the structure hasn't yet claimed victory, we strive to reclaim even a small part of the inner strength we were born with. Transurfing offers a path to achieve this. It does not matter whether you are an indigo child or not. We are all in essence the same, children of God.